On this episode of Watch Stuff with Us, the Pitt episode 3 breakdown, characters we like, characters we don't like, and what are our predictions for episode 4. Thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Watch Stuff with Us. I'm JD.
I'm Katie.
And we are going to be breaking down episode 3 of The Pitt. And we're also going to talk about the characters we like and the characters that we don't like. And give a little bit of a preview and our predictions for episode 4. So please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment below, and hit that notification bell so that you are notified each and every time we go live. So let's get this going. Let's start with, this says predictions, messed that up. Let's start with the characters we like. So I got a little breakdown on here of all the characters, and we can kind of scroll through them a little bit because I still have trouble with some of their names because it's a newer show. But
they don't really say their names all that much
no,
either, I don't believe.
Not a ton.
Maybe like a couple times per episode,
right.
per characters.
Not a ton. Not a ton. But the first character we'll talk about is Noah Wiley as Dr. Michael Robbie Rabinovich. I think that's how it's pronounced. Star of the show. Seems like a pretty awesome leader, if I must say so. Like, I mean, he's doing his best to keep the other things that he has going on in his life sort of on the outside right now.
Yeah, we know he's gone through some stuff, and they haven't really discussed that yet. Obviously, we're still in day 1, so there's only so much that's talked about, but I feel that, yeah, he's a good leader. He's very knowledgeable. He's had lots of experience, and I think he's a pretty great guy. He's a little dry, little serious, but definitely a good team member.
One thing that got me that made it a positive in my mind as far as he's concerned as a character is, and I don't know if this is like standard protocol in emergency rooms, but when you have someone pass away, like they have the moment of silence, and he usually like leads that, or at least he was the one that was suggesting the discussion of the moment of silence. So
yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably something just coming from him as a character that I don't feel like the other doctors necessarily would do if they were the lead down there.
No, I haven't seen it in other doctor shows that I've watched either. So this is
I think
that's a good quality.
It's a great quality. It's very honorable on his behalf to do something like that. So yeah, I was impressed by that.
Same.
Let's jump into another character that we like. I'm going to the character. Okay, let's do yes. Dr. McKay. I am a fan of Dr. McKay. I like her because she seems like she's real. She got a little dark past because she's wearing that ankle bracelet,
which they have not divulged why yet.
Nope. But that'll be interesting and juicy once it comes out.
She did mention something about, was she in domestic abuse relationship, was she
some kind of domestic situation that she was involved in. Yeah,
some kind of assault or something in her lifetime,
right,
that she was alluding to,
right. So I mean, just seeing her and the way she carries herself, she seems not really like nonchalant, but focused and also like cool. You know, she doesn't come across as somebody who's freaking out about things or doesn't know how to handle themselves. She comes across as, hey, I know what I'm doing, but I'm also doing it in a way that is not imposing or annoying or too forceful like some of the other characters in the show.
Correct. No, I feel like she'd be a good doctor to have. She, she's kind of chill, down to earth, but knowledgeable.
At least thus far.
We don't know what her past is. I don't know about the ankle bracelet. Crazy. I'm really curious to find out, but I'm assuming we'll find out this season. Yeah. Yes, it's day 1, but I feel like they're gonna stuff in some things for us.
Yeah, I think they will too. Let's go to my favorite character on the entire show, Dr. King. On the perfect day to be talking about Dr. King.
True. Definitely a different Dr. King, but you know.
Yeah, it says Taylor Dearden plays Dr. King, a socially awkward second-year resident who has experience working with military veterans. Even though she may be slightly off-key when it comes to social interactions, her skills in the ER speak for themselves. Yeah, I feel like she's great. She's the type of doctor that I would like because I would feel comfortable around her because she doesn't seem to take herself too seriously. She also comes across as a little bit awkward, and but not awkward to the point where I question her talent or her skills or her ability. She comes across as that like good kind of quirky awkward.
I feel like she still has a lot of learning to do, especially with her awkwardness, because to me, it would make me slightly uneasy to have her as a doctor. I'm kind of the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I feel like her nervous energy would just make me nervous because I'm like an anxious, kind of awkward person too.
Yeah.
And I don't know, just like her wanting to cry at the drop of a hat over every situation and like wringing her hands and like like just kind of not having words all the time. And I understand that's like a social quality and that's fine, but I feel like being a doctor, she probably should get this figured out pronto. Um, she gets upset about death, which is a happening when you're a doctor, especially in the ER. She gets upset about just things that she can't control, and so she's gonna have to definitely relax a little bit more and get more comfy in this situation. Yeah. I guess obviously we're still in day one though, so this is day one jitters, but
yeah, and I mean it's she comes across as genuine, and I appreciate people who come across as genuine, which is why I like her as
and
a
she
character.
is very smart.
And I don't. The more I think about it now, the more after you brought up some of the stuff that you brought up, I don't know how much I would necessarily like her as a doctor, but like as a friend, she'd be cool. But yeah, as a doctor, that being a little bit too emotional, like I wouldn't want a doctor being emotional with me. Like a doctor needs to be kind of cold and have their emotions sort of at a 2.
Right. If your patients are crying, you can't start crying. Right, if you have to tell them bad news, you have to be able to compose yourself to
and
present
I mean,
that.
Yeah, and they're human, and I get that they might be upset, but there's a level of upset that you expect out of a doctor.
Right.
And
you have to hold it in until you leave the room.
Right. You don't want them bawling as much as you are if they're giving you a diagnosis that isn't positive.
No, but I do like her energy. She seems like a very positive, kind person. She just kind of wants to befriend everybody.
I like her a lot because she reminds me of you.
Really?
Yep.
I'm not quite that nervous. No,
you're not that nervous, not that awkward, but her genuineness, her
when she's like, oh, just talking about wanting to make friends all the time. Yes. That's me. Yes. I'm like, totally new friend.
Totally you.
Somebody says, I like your shoes. Oh, thank you. New friend.
Right, new best friend. Skip right to past the regular friendship, just the best friend.
I do that.
All right. I think Dana Evans is a character that I don't know much about. She's okay.
She seems nice. She seems like she's had many years of experience, so nothing is surprising for her anymore. She's very I don't know what to call it, just very composed, very calm, very
she's seen it
matter
all.
of fact.
She's seen it
all. Yeah, just she's just there because she knows everything.
Right. Already. And like it says on here, says while she mainly ensures that the emergency room has a steady flow and order, she can pick up on when staffers are in need of a break. Yeah. Which is important. Like you got to know if your people are okay or not.
She's just the OG of the place, I think. So.
Definitely. Let's roll up here. Do we have any more characters? Do you have another character that you like? I have some characters that I'm meh on, and I have some characters I don't like.
Go back up. Him.
Dr. Langdon.
I feel like I love his personality because he's very like upbeat, a little goofy, but they definitely need that in the workplace there. He lightens the mood for everybody else. He is very knowledgeable. I feel like he's the kind of doctor that if I'm stuck in the ER having a trauma, I would want to tend to me because I make jokes about everything, especially in serious situations, like when I am in the ER and having a catastrophe.
Yeah.
I do try to lighten the mood all the time, but I feel like he'd be the kind of doctor that I'd want. I'd rather have somebody that just be like, "Hey, what are we doing here?" instead of just like, all right, I see you have blah blah blah. You need this, and I like somebody that I can feel comfy around,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel
Mm-hmm.
like he has that kind of personality that he likes to, brighten the mood of the environment.
Yeah, it says that he's a bit curt and often too practical when it comes to dealing with patients and their fates. However, he has the potential to become a successful doctor if he can work on that attitude of his. Yeah, his attitude didn't necessarily come off as.
I don't feel it was too attitudey. I didn't
Yeah,
really get a negative vibe from him.
no, he was in my meh category. Like I feel like I need to learn more about him. That he isn't just the cute doctor, so to speak. You know what I mean?
He
Like,
is married, he has kids, and he
mm-hmm,
wants to get them a puppy, which is
mm-hmm,
endearing.
mm-hmm.
He clearly doesn't know much about having a puppy around because he
I
keeps
just hope
asking questions.
what I hope doesn't happen with him is that he turns into the doctor that's like cheating on his wife or something like that. Like I just don't please don't go that route. Please don't go that
In
route.
day one.
You can be a guy, you can be a guy that's handsome and
Mm-hmm.
attractive,
Yeah.
but still be a good guy. And I feel like they're gonna like try to soil him somehow, and I just hope that isn't the case.
Yeah.
All right, let's transition. I think we're good now. Now let's go to characters we don't like.
Okay.
I feel like my list is longer of characters I don't like. All right, Dr. Collins. Let's start with her. At least
She
for me. For me.
Okay, you tell me why you don't like her first.
It says Dr. Collins is a senior resident in the ER who Dr. Robbie depends on as a right hand, though the two don't always see eye to eye when it comes to specific practices and decision making. Before pivoting to the medical field, Dr. Collins worked in finance. Now,
Obviously.
ooh, that I didn't know that part, but she comes across like she works with numbers and doesn't relate with a whole bunch of people all the time.
Yep.
A little cold for me.
Okay, what was your prediction too about her?
Oh, that she's pregnant?
Well, yeah, what about it?
Oh, that is Dr. Robbie's?
Yeah, that's what he
100%.
thinks. I
100%.
feel like they definitely had a thing at one point. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know whether it's his or not, but I feel like yeah, there's some underlying thing there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why she's he's always like checking on her, like, you okay, how you doing and stuff, and she's like, I don't need
Or
to hear from you, or you don't ask me that, and
you know what? You might be more right than I am because I could totally see them having had a relationship in the past, and she doesn't want to bring it up to him because
that she's moved on.
well, no, she's already moved on. He knows that she's moved on, but she feels like he's gonna feel a certain way once she finds out that she's pregnant.
Once he knows she's pregnant.
Right.
Okay.
So it's just like, she might not want to say it, but I'm still gonna roll with my
It's
prediction
his.
that it's his. Yeah, off of some crazy one night sort of thing.
Could be. I'm still not sure how long he was gone for. Because remember he came in and he was on leave or something, I think to deal with the loss of his mentor, and I don't believe it ever said how long he was gone for.
No.
So a lot could happen during that time. So it could have been he was gone for a couple months, and yeah, she's carrying his baby. He could have been gone for like a year and likely not carrying his baby. So
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
factors into yeah, she's not very open with anybody. She's very reserved. She knows what she's talking about. She's professional, but almost to a point where she doesn't even chat with her colleagues really. She's just closed off to everybody. And I'm sure it'll reveal why, but she's not very approachable, not very personable as of yet.
Cold.
Yeah.
Cold. All right.
Yeah.
Who else don't we like? Dr.
Moen.
Moen. I won't say that I don't like her. I would say I don't know enough about her yet.
Yeah, I don't know enough about her either. She kind of seems, I don't even know how to explain her.
Well, read it.
Okay, it says that she's a third-year medical resident. She addresses her patients in a compassionate and considerate manner, even with the clock still quickly ticking, while she moves a bit slower than others, which was addressed in the last episode. The ER appreciates her heightened awareness of others and their feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she's more relatable, more personable with her patients. She's more caring with her patients, which I think is why they were like, well, you need to hurry along. You can't just, concentrate on this person and this person. You have to spend your time more with everybody else. You can't just be only forming the relationship with this person or this person. But
I think there's a balance that she needs to figure out.
she still seems kind of closed as well, a little awkward, at least with
Mm-hmm.
the other coworkers. I feel like, yeah, there's just a wall. I just feel a wall with her. Like she's kind of
Hiding
hiding
something.
something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. Um. Ha.
Ugh.
Dr.
I
Santos.
am not a fan of her. She is arrogant. She is snooty. She's she would be the bully in elementary school. She just is not approachable. She's very her way or the highway. I don't feel like she would take redirection well. I feel like she would just want to pick a fight physically possible. Like I don't put it
What's
past her.
I got another prediction, and I
Okay.
know we're diving all into the predictions and stuff, and I don't know if
Mhm.
this is necessarily going to happen in the fourth episode or not, but she is going to have some sort of situation happen where her overconfidence is going to kill someone.
Yeah.
She's gonna think she knows it all. She's gonna make some call where she's, oh, this is exactly what it is, and boom, that person is not gonna make it because of that call. And I think that's what's gonna humble her. She needs to be humbled.
Oh yeah, that's what I was telling her. She's gonna have a humbling experience. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
knock her down a few pegs and
Mm-hmm.
be eye opening for her. And I hope that happens because I don't like her.
Yeah. I haven't really noticed how she deals with her patients. She seems fine when dealing with patients, just her personally when she's talking to the other doctors and stuff. That's where I've noticed more of the
She
stuff
just
I
put
don't
herself on a
like.
pedestal and she's obnoxious.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I mean, if she can be obnoxious in her private life, but as a doctor, maybe she's okay. And but yeah, I think she's definitely going to have some sort of humbling experience, and that's going to cause her to change her tone a little bit.
I hope so for her. I hope not for the patients.
I know, right? Yikes. Um. Okay, how do you feel about Whitaker?
I'm on the fence with him. I don't dislike him. He's either a meh or I like him. He's very sweet. He's so pure. He's like he was just walked out of the womb yesterday. He is so young and so impressionable. He he's very sweet. He's very very
Yes,
young.
he.
He has not had many experiences in the world thus far, I think, that have been hard on him.
Mhm. Didn't they say he grew up on a farm in like Wyoming or something
Yeah.
like that? Like he
Yeah.
comes
So
across.
he's
He looks like he grew up on a farm in
kind of
Wyoming.
like a little maybe like he hasn't had much social interaction either. He seems
Mm-hmm.
very sweet though.
Smart.
Very smart, very sad. The last episode with his patient was
Mm-hmm.
very sad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he comes
Yeah.
across as a doctor that I would not want. Someone who is questioning themselves, someone who isn't confident. There's a line that you need to ride with that confidence. You don't want to be coming there too confident and
Mhm.
cocky and rude, but you don't want to be underconfident and looking like you're lacking self-esteem, because that's how he comes across. And you
Yeah.
can be as knowledgeable as you want to be, but if you come across as like not having that confidence, that's going to affect the people who you're trying to take care of too.
I feel like all the medical students just need to tweak their personalities a little bit, either up or down with that knob because they're all a little they
Yeah,
all got a little bit of work to do.
they do.
Got a little improving.
They do. Who else do we have here? All right.
She's kind of a meh for me. I am annoyed with her thinking she knows everything. I know she's trying to separate herself from her mother who works with in the building as a
Mm,
doctor and
she's a nepotism doctor.
yeah.
Specializes in nepotism.
Oh, I just don't know. I don't like her vibe.
Yeah,
I
she
Another one that just doesn't make me feel comfy to have around as a
what I
doctor.
need to know is where her growth is going to come from. Is her growth going to eventually show that she is a Nepo baby and she's only there because her mom is there? Or is she going to break out that shadow and show that she really deserves to be there? Because the way she's showing right now, first she passed out with the very first person that she dealt with.
Crash.
Yes, so they call her Crash. I love that nickname.
She hates it, but
Right.
I think it's kind
So
of
she has
funny.
that's a strike against her.
Yeah.
The second strike against her is that her mom is a doctor there, and everybody's gonna think that she's just there because of that. Third strike against her is that she comes off as extremely young, and that would not give me confidence in her as a patient.
It's
Like,
hard to like look young too. And speaking from example, I mean, I was teaching in a middle school and some of the staff didn't know me in the beginning and thought that I was a student and needed to get to class even though I'm wearing my badge and everything. I I'm 36 now and I'm starting to feel like I look like an adult now, but definitely writing into my 30s, it was still iffy. People were thinking I was much younger than I was, and it's hard to feel like you earn the respect of your peers when you look younger than you are. Now these people are, yeah, I guess they are what she says she's 20 years old, but
mm-hmm.
yeah, she does look like she's 17 years old.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
hard because it's you don't garner that respect from others when you look young, no matter how much you are educated.
Mm-hmm. I think the last doctor that I was confident in that was young was Doogie Howser. Neil Patrick Harris. I mean, he overcame it, so maybe she's gonna be able to overcome it too.
No, the good doctor.
Oh yeah, I forgot he's young too.
He was
Yeah,
very
he
young,
was young too.
but that boy knew everything.
Yeah, he was sharp. He was
Yes.
sharp. So, did we hit
That's
everybody? I think we hit
I think
everybody. I
that's all
think
the
so. I think
staff.
so. I think so. Yes, that's everybody.
Although, I will say kudos to the man who seems to have Alzheimer's or dementia
It's
and used to
cleaning
be
up.
the janitor for the facility and still wants to come in and work. And
Yeah,
that's so cute that they
yeah.
allow him to just
Just
come
let him
back
come in
and
and do it.
like what harm is he doing?
Mm-hmm.
He just wants to come back and mop the floor because he thinks he's still employed there. So that's adorable. So he might be my favorite at this point. Like
Right.
you sweet man.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and end the episode now. I think
Okay.
that the show is growing on me. The more I talk about it, the more I realize that I'm interested in it. If you had to make one prediction for episode 4, what would that prediction be?
I feel like that boy is going to come back, the one whose mother is in the ER, and she only went into the ER because of wanting to get her son help from finding the list that he had made.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to come back either next episode or the episode after that. I hope that they find him before anything serious happens, but I do feel like there's going to be some kind of trauma involving him that's going to bring him and maybe others to the ER. So I'm hoping not, but yeah. I can see that it going that way at some point.
Yeah. If I had to make a prediction, my prediction is sort of in lockstep with that to some degree. I feel like there is going to be some sort of major catastrophe that happens that's going to extend over multiple episodes.
Okay.
I feel like we're at the point in this show now where they've given as much background as they can on the characters that we need to see them adjust. Like we've been given their baselines. We need to see how they're going to start changing, and I think that change is going to be driven by something crazy happening.
Okay, well, in all medical shows, there are fires,
there
are car accidents, there are bus accidents, there are plane accidents, there are train accidents, there are people who fall into holes, there are hiking accidents, cave accidents, and chemical accidents, lightning accidents. We already had the lightning strike.
Yeah.
All sorts of things. Burn victims, which ties into lightning. So, what? Trees falling.
There's a certain thing, and I don't want to say it on here because YouTube listens to everything that we say, but I think it's going to involve that young man that you were talking about and executing his plan that he had.
Yep,
and
that always happens too, and it's scary, but honestly, that's regrettably what's going on in the world. It's kind of accurate. So
I got a feeling that that's what we're going to get, and I'm thinking that it's going to start in this next episode. So what are your predictions for episode 4? Who are your characters that you like? Who are your characters that you don't like? Do you like the show at all? We're digging it. It's getting better, I feel. I can't wait to see more. So please drop a comment below, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you get notified each and every time we drop a video. We drop videos and shorts 5 days a week. Like, we have been putting out a ton of content. So we need you to show us your appreciation for doing that by hitting that subscribe button. And that's the one way that you can do it. And it's free. It doesn't cost a thing. A thing. I'm JD.
I'm Katie.
Please, please, please continue to rock with us, and we will see you for the next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.
Boy Scouts too.